Hey there, and welcome back to Walking the Spiral of Truth and Love. I'm Bill Gisclair-Sullivan, the founder and senior director at Meditate School of Mindfulness and Sound. These reflections are rooted in the SVMT Method of Transformation, a heart-centered embodied approach to growth where we learn to transform through awareness, sensation, and vibration, not force. Today we begin something special, a Fascia Series, an exploration on the living web within the body, and how it shapes how we feel, how we heal, and how we come home to ourselves. This will be a multi-week journey, and it's important because we want to transform how we talk about this system. To discover that fascia is not just tissue, it's intelligence, it's memory, it's communication, it's connectivity. It's the body's way of saying, I remember, and I'm ready to soften. So take a breath with me. Allow your shoulders to drop. Allow the energy within you to settle down. And let's step into the living web together. In case you didn't know this, there's a web inside of you. This web that is older than your thoughts and wiser than your mind. A living tapestry of sensation, memory, and meaning, woven beneath the surface, stretching vast across the inner landscape you call a body. This web, it listens, it remembers, it speaks in a language before language, the language of vibration, the language of pressure and flow and feeling. This is your fascia, the silent storyteller of every moment you've lived, of every movement you've had, of everything you've encountered, and every breath that shaped you. And today we're going to listen. So fascia is often described as connective tissue. But that phrase doesn't even begin to capture what it truly is. Fascia is in a continuous, three-dimensional network that wraps and connects everything. Muscles, organs, bones, nerves, holding the body together as one intelligent whole. In our teachings in the SVMT method, we don't treat fascia as inert structure. We treat it as a living communication system because that's what it is. Fascia is one of the body's primary sensory fields. It perceives subtle shifts long before the thinking mind interprets them. Sometimes you feel it as tightness in the chest before you can name the emotion. Sometimes it shows up as bracing in the tummy before you can explain the fear. Sometimes as a softening across the shoulders when you finally feel safe. Sometimes it's a warmth that goes beyond the heart when you feel love. So the body knows first, and the body keeps score. And fascia is how it does those things. It's also important to know that this is where emotional memory lives. Not as thoughts, not as visions, but as feelings, as sensation. Also not as punishment, not as dysfunction, but as protection. Every time life asked too much, every time something happened faster than you could process, every time you had to hold it together, fascia adapted. It tightened, it organized around survival, it braced us for impact, it learned how to keep us moving forward from a protective space. This is why healing isn't just about understanding what happened. We can come to terms with it in our mind, but if we haven't come to terms with it in our body, we're missing a big piece of it. This is about helping the body realize it no longer needs to hold the past in the same way. And this is where vibration becomes one of the most transformational tools that we have. Collagen is the primary building material of fascia. It responds to pressure and vibration. It's piezoelectric, meaning it can generate electric signals in response to mechanical stimulation. So when sound enters the body through tuning forks or bowls or humming, through the singing of birds or music, even breath-led resonance, it isn't just soothing, it's communicating with the fascia in its native language. Sound doesn't and can't bypass the body. It awakens it. It moves it in one direction or another. Sound can either move us to brace or relax. This is why fascia-based transformation isn't achieved by force. This isn't about muscle manipulation. This transformation is invited through sensation, through building a sense of safety, through a new vibration that tells the nervous system you can let go and soften now. In truth, the mind may decide to heal, but fascia must agree. And when the fascia agrees, everything changes. We all know, sometimes we try to think our way into change, and the body's quietly saying in the corner, "That's adorable, but I'm still holding on." That's cute, but until you release what I'm holding, you're only halfway there. Fascia doesn't respond to convincing arguments. It responds to experience. It responds to breath, to warmth, to vibration, mostly to safety. And once you realize that, you stop trying to force healing and start learning how to invite it in. We've been down this path so many times, all these different tools we use to help force transformation. But the truth is, in all of our studies and all of our practices, if we don't move the body to feel safe, transformation is nearly impossible. So let's do a practice here together. I invite you to pause for a moment, to just breathe, to think about where you are, and if you're in a space where you can do so, close your eyes or soften your gaze, or if not, just keep them open. Place a hand on your chest. Take a slow breath in, and an even slower breath out. And feel what's beneath your palm. Remove it for a moment, place it back again, and press a little more tightly. Not too hard, but just feel the connection. And notice what's there. Notice what's there beneath the palm of your hand. A subtle tug. As you feel the breath rising and falling, a gentle glide. Maybe you feel resistance, or maybe softening. Right there, you're touching the living web. That is the living web, the conscious body. The place where transformation begins not with thought, but with sensation. As you feel that movement and you feel that breathing and you feel the connection of the palm, I invite you to ask gently without needing an answer, what is my fascia telling me right now? Is there a whisper? Is there some tension? Is there a memory? Is there a quiet openness? Just notice. Letting go of the need to fix it or judge it, just listen. Just feel. Sensation. Now I invite you to move your hand a little bit lower down to your tummy. Notice the difference here. But still that movement. That's your fascia. What's here for you now? What is your fascia telling you here now? Just notice. Just feel. Just know. And then I invite you to take both hands and place them together. Wrap your fingers, hold hands together, and move your hands a little bit. Feel the sensation there. What is the fascia here telling you right now? What do you feel right now? That right there, noticing, without fixing or judging, just listening, is the true beginning of transformation. It all starts right there. Relax your hands and relax your body, and open your eyes if you close them. Think about how you feel. And let's continue on. In our teachings and studies of vibrational therapies, we approach the fascia from this perspective of discovering what's there. A vibrational insight from this practice is when vibration enters the body, fascia is often the first responder. When we place a weighted tuning fork on the body, the base of that fork touches is the fascia. Himalayan bowls resting on the body, when you activate it, it's like strumming the strings of the fascia. Humming into the sternum or the belly, that humming gets picked up by the fascia and sent through your body. These don't simply relax tissue, they activate it. And the intention behind it really matters. If they're activated with tension or aggression, that's what gets activated. If they're activated with harmony and peace and love, that's what gets activated. To put it simply, if you think about each thread of the fascia like a guitar string, it matters how you strum it. It matters the intention behind it. The energy and intention we put into it change the charge and the tone in the fascial web. They invite fluid back into places that have become dry and braced. They restore glide and hydration and flow. And just as important, the web of your fascia speaks to the nervous system through the body. The fascia says to the nervous system, it's safe. You can let go. You don't have to hold so tightly. From an SVMT perspective, we can see the fascia like the riverbed of the nervous system. And if the fascia gets dammed up, so too will the nervous system. If we open it up and let it flow, so too does the nervous system. This is why sound and vibrational therapy so often releases what talk therapy can't, because fascia listens in a language older than words, feeling and sensation. So let that all settle in. And now I would invite you to go on this meditation with me. I want to introduce you to your living web. So if it feels comfortable now, or you can come back to this later, but when you're ready, put yourself in a meditative position, and if you're comfortable, allow your eyes to close or soften, and let your body be supported with whatever is beneath you, and just breathe. Just bring your attention to your breath with no force and no performance. Just the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Notice it and feel it, and flow with it. And as you picture that breath moving through your nose and down into your windpipe and into your heart, and then noticing how it flows back out, just be with it for a moment. The energy of your breath moves through your whole body. So I wonder if you could imagine your breath moving through the fascia like a slow tide, a wave moving through the living web. As you breathe in, that web moves that energy all the way through your body. And as you exhale, it moves it all the way back out. And imagine with every inhale, you feel your body expand. And with every exhale, you feel your body soften. Just be with it a moment. That gentle movement, yes, it flows into your lungs and your lungs expand, but when that happens, the fascia expands as well. And as you exhale, it contracts and softens. Just be with it for a moment. And then as you sit there paying attention to your breath, I invite you to add in the smallest movement from your hips, only if it feels natural. Maybe a subtle sway, maybe a small spiral, maybe a soft rocking. Allow the movement to be organic, like water finding its way, and just be with it and notice what's there. Maybe if you're comfortable, you can add some movement into your shoulders a little bit. Not too aggressive, just little sways, tiny little micro movements. Feel what's there. Notice that energy flowing like water. And then continue to move in whatever way feels comfortable, but gently. Not dancing, not aggressive, just gentle micro movements. And tune in. Don't judge if you're doing this right or wrong. You can't do this wrong. Just be with it. And then imagine you're silently saying to that inner web, I'm listening. You can soften. You don't have to hold so tightly. And if a thought arises, let it pass. Just stay with sensation. Return to your breath. be with that movement for a couple more moments, for a couple more breaths. And then slow down and pause for a moment and listen as your body sits still. The fascia still moves. Notice what's there. Notice the quiet intelligence beneath your skin. And just rest here for a few breaths. And when you feel ready, begin to return, but not too quickly. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Sense the room around you. And if you close them, open your eyes gently. What do you feel now? What's the story that's there? Recognize that your body is not separate from your story. Your fascia is the manuscript you've been writing since the day you were born, through breath and posture, through tension and release, through every moment the body learned how to survive. And we're carrying that survival within ourselves. The body keeps score, and we have an opportunity to bring in forgiveness, to let go of that gripping that we might have been holding since we were just a little child. Here's the gift. The web is alive, and every moment is an invitation to rewrite yourself. Not just the story in your mind, but to rewrite the story of your body through sensation, through breath, through vibration, through love. In our teaching, we understand that so much of what we're carrying, so much of the pain, so much of the tension, so much of the dis-ease comes from the fascia holding on to the old. Here we can offer some resolution with the recognition it's not holding us back, it's protecting us. It's protecting us from what we encountered as a 6-year-old child, from what we encountered as a teenager or a young adult, from those moments that we had to grip, or protect, or brace. Those stories have passed, but the fascia is holding your history. It's waiting for you to enter the body and speak to it through movement. Your fascia is waiting for you to become fluent in its language again. We've done so much work in the mind. Let's do the work that your body needs. Welcome to the living web. Welcome home. Thank you for walking this spiral with me today. And if you stay tuned, if you subscribe to this podcast or listen to us on YouTube or wherever you find us, I have a series, 12 of these Fascia Series, that are leading us on this journey of connecting to our body. May what you've heard settle gently in your body, not as information but as permission. This is the heart of the SVMT Method of Transformation, where we return to our truth through awareness, through returning to love, through embodied presence. In our next episode, we'll explore a powerful truth, that the body keeps score because the fascia keeps score, and what it might mean to heal through safety and release. This is all part of a bigger journey that we're offering. A practitioner of fascia therapies, if you do this work and you want to dig deeper into this, I invite you to visit our website. The link is in the description. But if you're just here to listen, to discover something different, on the journey ahead, I will bring the science and the theory together. This is the journey that we're taking. I'm Coach Bill Sullivan, and it's been my honor to share this message with you. And as always, love is the way, truth is the path, and I'll see you next time.